Hey fam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining me for this tarot reading. This is going to be another all signs tarot reading, a community read, if you will. That means that if it's not resonating, you know the drill. It's somebody else's message. However, personally, I feel that if you were drawn to this video, it's for a reason. So thank you for coming. My name is Amy. If you're new here, hi. If you're returning, thanks. Either way, I have a tendency to interpret these messages as encouragement, right? And positive vibes. That's what I like to share. Sometimes a little, nitty gritty comes on in, but either way, if it gets deep, I'm still going to lift you back up, all right? And yeah, let's see what kind of message of encouragement we can receive today. I'm just going to throw this out there. While I was shuffling, pre-shuffling, the Justice card jumped out of the tarot deck. So just saying, that's apparently a vibe we got going on. Let's get into it. Okie dokie, let's begin. We're gonna cut the decks together. And let's begin with the archetypes. Ooh, the Bardo. Something tells me that I'm not the only one who has had people in their lives ever since they were younger, like telling them, you're clairvoyant, you're clear this, you're clear that. Because the Bardo is right there with cards like the Underworld and such. Maybe you're having difficulty believing it's real, maybe you're dealing with some imposter syndrome bit on it, but there are also, I believe, those who know darn well, you know what I mean, that the people who have passed on to that plane are still with us and helping us now. They're still guiding us, and they're better able to do it now, right? Let's see what the book has to say, because I feel like there's something more to it. The liminal. The in-between, the transition. That's what it was. Thank you, Kim. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us, or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. And that's what it was that was getting me, was that in-between phase, right? For some of us, this has been a journey, a long journey of healing and transformation, right? A theme, right? And some may be recognizing now how things that were once familiar and such a constant, mundane part of our lives, it doesn't fit, it's like we've outgrown that clothing, but in the best of ways, right? No negative connotations and bullshit like that, right? And it's a time of adjustment, right? And, we're getting better and better at catching that even just a little bit of negative self-talk and turning it and alchemizing it into the things that we prefer to think. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm tired of not having enough money. It's like, I already have more money than I know what to do with. Boosh. You know what I mean? Just for an example. And it can be a bit disorienting. We're still adjusting. We're still in, we're having this growth spurt, right? And we need to remember that glorious freedom within it, right? Because this is our lives. And if our minds are creating our reality, then it's all good, right? And the self-care and all of that stuff, right? And others maybe have an issue with it because they don't know what we know. They don't know what's going on in our minds. They don't know what we're trying to create, co-create with the universe. And that's okay, because their lives are on them and our lives are on us. Hey-oh, moving on to the cat hair. And to the Oracle deck. This is the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. There we go. Take control of your own narrative. There, you know, we're at that point where we're better at sifting through what we've been told our whole lives, right? To think, to expect all those yada yadas. And we're doing better at, no, this is what I want. This is who I am. And if you can't see who's standing in front of you, that's not on me, right? Some people just need to pull their heads out of their asses and realize that there's a whole world all around them, right? But we can't make them do that. What we can do is continue going about our business, right? As long as that's our hand holding the strings, I have nothing to complain about. Someone else is trying to call the shots in your life. They think they can waltz in and control your every move, and you need to say no to their manipulation. It might seem tempting to relinquish control, but if you give someone else power over your narrative, chaos will ensue, and it will be all in their favor, not yours. The stories inside of you make you a library on the verge of bursting, but only if you're the one to pick up the pen, right? I don't like pushy people. They drive me nuts. There's a difference between giving advice and sharing your life's wisdom and such, and being pushy. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, it's different for me because I'm originally from the East Coast. Like, pushy is people who just expect you to do what they say. They just expect you, you know, they're like, no, do this. Like, excuse me? I don't recall you signing my freaking paychecks. And even if you do, like, I'm off the clock, bitch. You know, like, whatever, whatever that means for you, right? Like, for some of us, it's our parents. They're so used to being the stewards of our lives and thinking that they have a right to always meh. And it's like, well, you know, if you weren't being so negative, I might be willing to hear you yap a bit more. You know what I mean? Like, all too often it's negative and it's somebody else's ideas and somebody else's ideals. No more of that. This is your life and you're not doing anything wrong, whether they can see it or not, fam, right? Fam, what time is it? It's clarification time. Let's move on to the tarot. This is YouTube. Let's lighten up the mood and have some fun. If you don't like singing, that's okay. You got a plethora of options right here, but I appreciate the company. So, I tend to consider the tarot like a story. And sometimes every single card is their own chapter. Sometimes, you know, the way they're stacked together in and of themselves is a chapter, right? Sometimes it's two different parts in a dang book. Let's see what kind of adventure we're going to go on this round. Chapter 1. Ooh, well, that's a pretty nice beginning. That's pretty spiffy right there. Look at this horse. Even this horse is like, I always love the white horses and the black horses in the tarot and how they show up at different times. The white in, at least the Rider, is it Rider-Smith, Rider-Waite-Smith? You know, that good, has a tendency to represent innocence and purity, right? And I already just said, you're not doing anything wrong. And sometimes we just need to remind ourselves of that. Like, who are you trying to hurt? Really? I mean, sure, yeah, even the villains in Hollywood, you know, in the stories and stuff, once we can see from their perspective, it's like, oh, well, yeah, okay, I guess that makes more sense now. Those are the best villains, right? Everyone thinks that they're right. Some of us, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about respect and harmony and all of that good. And that's what I'm feeling here. Vibe matching vibe. Being recognized for your hard work, your dedication, your brilliant ideas, and all of that good. Sometimes it can be difficult receiving praise. Do you say thank you? There are cultures that think if somebody says, you're so pretty, and you say, oh, thanks. Oh, so you think you're pretty, Regina, right? I'm not here for those games, okay? It can be difficult to accept praise sometimes, but you deserve it. So don't worry about superficialities and BS and manipulation. Enjoy how far you've come, right? Being prideful doesn't have to be a bad thing. Just make sure your ego is in check. The ego helps with checks and balances in ourselves, but it doesn't get to control us. So just enjoy the moment. Enjoy how far you've come, because you've still only just begun, right? There's still, what I mean is there's still so much to experience, so much to enjoy, right? And I'm happy you're here. What's the next card? Boosh. Well then. Well then. So the Empress, not only is she nurturing and full of love and sharing love, not only is she wearing a crown of stars connected to the intuition that is receiving guidance from the universe. Not only is she secure in herself, but a point that I've been enjoying recently with this card is she's pretty darn comfortable sitting there in her chair. She's got the blankie going on, all kinds of cushions and everything. She's like, hey, what's up? I'm so cozy. Come on. I got more chairs. What's up? Let's hang. You know, this could be someone's actually pregnant. Someone's about to give birth. One of my best friends my entire life is due in the beginning of March, right? Hey, Pisces. Oh, my goodness. There's so much love within her that she's sharing, that surrounds, right? And one of the best things about love is being open to receive, understanding that you really are worthy of unconditional love, worthy of feeling it, worthy of receiving it. What is the point of manifestations if you can't grasp the fact that you deserve it? You deserve all of your hopes and dreams, and I will accept no ands, ifs, or buts, all right? This is my channel. It's all good. And look at this golden sky, this nature surrounding her. I'm feeling like Mother Gaia and all that grooviness. Like, these are two extremely positive cards. Hashtag winning like a motherfucker, all right? What's the next card? Jesus. What's the next card? A celebration, community. You know what I mean? Like, everything's going so well and it's full of harmony. Everyone's working together for the greater good. Quite frankly, whatever you're doing, as long as you're full of positive vibes and you're sharing positive vibes, you're working toward the greater good of the earth, of humanity. Right? A lot of us, we tend to take the world's problems and consequences onto our own shoulders. And it's difficult when you're empathetic. You know, you see what's going on in Gaza. You see what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia and the Sudan and all these places. Our phones, what I'm filming on right now, the pieces, the things that people are having to mine, right? It can be all too easy for so many of us to get bogged down with that concern because we care. But fam, what if just existing? What if just holding the door open for someone? What if just, not being bothered by the fact that the elder lady in front of you wants to chit chat while you wait in this long ass line? 'Tis the season at the time of filming is. What if it's nice to just converse with someone, share a smile? What if it's nice to not worry about manipulations, to not worry about the BS that you once were concerned about? What if it's just nice to let it go and to breathe and to exist? What if that is doing your part? What if just being nice and yet having that integrity, having that spine that enables you to defend yourself? What if you just being you is an example to others and exactly what they need to see, whether you even know them or not? They could just be an innocent bystander witnessing you bringing that cart back in instead of leaving it next to your car, right? You never know how the things that you do impact others, inspire others, and being open to that, being open to the fact that if we exist and we care, we're capable of empathy as well as taking care of ourselves, is the example that others need. It enables that vibe to come to us. What if it enables us to magnetize people who are aligned and available and emotionally intelligent themselves, right? That way we can celebrate together. This could also be the universe. Oh, there's a loud car. The universe celebrating right alongside of us. Our ancestors being so proud of us. We've come so far, right? It's a party either way. Look at that Three of Cups. They're having fun. They got all these veggies and fruits all around them. They're dancing in it, fam. Card 4. Ooh, shit. It's the Eight of Wands has appeared. This could be different things, right? Someone's about to go on an adventure. You ready for a trip? Pack light. It's not necessary to bring your whole house with you. You know what I mean? Let's go. It's spontaneous. Let's enjoy ourselves, right? I have a feeling you could use a vacation. This could also be an incredible message coming in. An email, a letter, a phone call, someone sliding into your... I don't really tend to check my DMs in different social media apps because, being a perceived chick on Twitch TV once upon a time really kind of, put a... I'm good, And maybe I need to open up again. Maybe it's time for me to let that go. You know what I mean? Maybe someone just simply needed to hear that and can understand what I'm talking about, right? Either way, this is an incredible card. Look at these freaking cards. I hope you're ready to enjoy your life because it's time. I keep trying to figure out, with these encouraging messages, what the heck title am I supposed to use now? I don't want to constantly repeat it's time to party. I feel like Andrew WK. Party hard, party hard. Moving on, what's going to come up underneath there? Ooh, interesting. I feel like that's going in line with what I was saying before, though. The superficiality, I always think these cups look so hollow and empty. Ooh, they're so pretty and made out of gold, but they're hollow. And I'd rather think that my cup is full, either with water, air, vino, whatever the heck. I don't really drink alcohol very, very rarely because, I prefer the earth, if you will. I mean, I feel like at this point, though, it's okay for you to trust yourself. You've learned so much. You know the difference between people who are just trying to gas you up and people who are still there. They're there for you when you have nothing. They're there for you when you have everything to offer. You know what I mean? I feel like you can, potato, potato. You can take it, you can leave it. You're just as comfortable now by yourself as you are in a crowd of people, right? And if not, well then, right? Balance. That's been such a major theme in all these different readings, not just my own lately, right? The planets are planeting and balance has been being restored. I said in the beginning that the Justice card rolled out while I was shuffling. Balance is being restored, right? You're capable of leaving the superficial BS behind, leaving behind the things that simply don't serve, whether they ever did or not. They don't now. And that's okay, right? It's okay. Sometimes we gotta move on. We gotta go on. You don't want to be in stasis. I mean, unless you're pulling a Hanged Man and you're taking this moment for some enlightenment. Either way, hey-o, moving on. What's coming up underneath the Empress? Okay. From the 8, we moved from 6, 7, 8. 2, 3. Or no. Is this a 3? This is a 3. That's 2 3s. I was right. That is 2 3s. We got 2 8s as well. Interesting. So I still feel like this card, if you're new here, I tend to feel like this card has a bad rep. It tends to be referred to as the thief of the tarot and speaks of a lot of deception and negativity, right? But what keeps getting me about this card is that's daylight, whether it's the morning or the evening, right? That golden hour. So if anyone looks, they can see them. They have nothing to hide about it. To me, it's all about perspective, right? And with the rest of the reading, I mean, maybe that's part of what you're leaving behind. Maybe this round, the cards down here, if they didn't happen, these wouldn't be able to, right? That has occurred. But to me, I've been referring to this as making off like a bandit, right? Being like, well, it was fun while it lasted, but now I'm going to gather my wisdom and have my wits about myself, and it's time to move on. And there may be some left behind who feel like they're being left behind. Like, why would you abandon me? Like, where did you go? What the fuck? But it's kind of like the 5 of Swords, right? Which I refer to as part of my language, the fuck around and find out card. If you didn't pull this crap, then you wouldn't have to find out what I do when someone pulls that crap, right? But we're going to think of this one right now, because that's the vibe I'm sensing. You don't have to agree. It's cool. Of thank you for, it's kind of like when they say, accept your present, accept your past, and let it go, right? I accept that those things happened. I accept all of these lessons and all of these things that I've been through because they have served their purpose, but now it's time to move on. We gotta go, all right? And we're gonna find people who do match our vibes, who aren't so pushy and controlling, people who recognize me, who I don't always feel like I have to over-explain, right? Because people aren't understanding me, right? Because they're too busy pushing their own narrative, right? What's coming up underneath the 3 of Cups? Boosh, there's the 2. There she is. I feel like this goes in line with celebrating with the divine universe, recognizing how far you've come and celebrating that, honoring that, right? But it can also go along with that idea of being open and being able to recognize, no, these are people who are aligned with me. That vibe matching vibe sensation. And being open to that. Opening your mind up and recognizing that you're not done yet. You still have so much to explore, so much to experience, and as long as you want, the worst can be behind you. Your mind really does create your reality. And it's time to enjoy that, right? It's time to enjoy life. It's time to enjoy being a part of the universe. And it's time to trust yourself because you know better. You can see the issues coming from a mile away. You can recognize, oh, I see where you are on your journey. You're still in a lot of pain. And know that you don't need to take that on yourself. You don't need to take that onto your own shoulders. Oh, sounds like it's raining again in the Pacific Northwest. Who'd have thunk? What's coming up underneath the 8 of Wands? Boosh, the 10 of Wands. Okay, that feels pretty darn enabling to me. There may be a message coming in that enables the end of that cycle. All of that hard work, determination, and dedication, boosh, come into fruition. Payday, right? Or it could mean that, you know, if you need to take a breather, if you need to take a break for a moment, then that's okay. So when the chance arrives and someone's like, hey, you want to come stay with us for the weekend, or we're going to go do this and we got an extra ticket. You want to join? Like, you know what I mean? But either way, this is the end of a very difficult cycle. A very, like, you just need to pull from the last of your reserves and move on. Like I said, the bottom row may be enabling the top this round. Because of all your hard work, because you followed your intuition, you took the wisdom from your experiences, the pain, the betrayal, the lies, the cheating, the superficial bullshit, and you alchemized it. You put that wisdom to good, and it's enabling you. And that cycle is completing. And it's time to have fun. It's time to be spontaneous again because you know better now and you can trust that. That was an interesting time for that card to whiz on by. What's the epilogue to this story? Boosh! Oh, babe! Oh, this has taken at least a freaking year. And now that we're here, here you go. Here you go. What was I saying about the horses, fam? Oh my goodness. We began with the white horse and we're ending with the black horse. Black is a color of protection. It's okay. Those ideas that you've been trying to give birth to, this new life that you've worked so hard for. My tummy just did an interesting, very bassy rumble. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. Here you go. This could be interpreted as now you can usher in all of this stuff. Now is the time for all these wonderful ideas. Or we can take it as, either way, here you go. Here are your manifestations. Here's everything you've been working toward. Dreams come true. What's on the bottom of the deck? For me, the bottom of the deck tends to represent the main gist of the story. You know what I mean? If this were a pocket paperback, it would be the blurb on the back to help you decide if you even want to bother, because the cover sure drew you in. Another 2. Oh, fam, it's the 2 of Wands. Look at all that passion. Every suit is represented. This is such a full life. This has been such an incredible journey. We can say now that we're looking at it from the rear view, hey-oh, and now you got the world in the palm of your hand, fam. You have this firm ground that you stand on with your ideas, with your own ideals. Where will we go next? Right? Well done, fam. You've come so far, and you are so deserving, and you have every right to believe that. Doing so doesn't make you a POS. It doesn't make you selfish. It's what you're supposed to be doing, right? You do care for others. You are capable of empathy. What is the problem exactly? It's time to snip those cords and live your own life. Darn tootin'. What are the extra notes for this particular reading? Oh, damn. Oh. Libra. I have a lot of Libra in my chart. How about you? Including my ascendant, including my Venus, including Mars, I believe. And one other thing. I have 4 things including my ascendant with Libra. Can never remember what the other one is. It might be Pluto or something like that. Balance. Balance. Being capable of seeing from different perspectives. For me, I complain about this because this is putting the business out there, but I also feel compelled to, I keep feeling compelled to bring it up, and I feel like it's because someone needs to be reminded of that. There's nothing wrong with love. Real love is unconditional. And in this book that I've had since I was still a teenager, the only astrology book you'll ever need, the first sentence for Venus and Libra is, you're in love with love. Like, listen, I need you to calm down. Why is that the first sentence? You couldn't put it in the middle of the paragraph? Jeez. Some like to poo-poo on it. Some like to say, you can't lead with your heart. I call bullshit. Bullshit. Sure you can. You just got to make sure your brain and your brain stem, your spinal cord, your brain is also intact. Right? Don't forget what you've learned. There's no need to repeat those lessons over and over again. Nobody's testing you. Your life and how you handle things show how far you've come, how much you've learned. Right? What's the next card? Is there another perspective? What are you so hyper-focused on that you're unable to, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that 4 of Cups, which did not come up though. So just saying, you know, just don't close yourself off from the unknown. Don't close yourself off from the possibilities. Okay, what's on the bottom of this deck? No, really, meditate. It's one of the best free resources for life and healing. Maybe if you don't like it, there's just a matter of figuring out what is the best way for you. What's the best method for you? Today, earlier, before when I was meditating, before this reading, I was annoyed because I needed to charge my phone rather than being able to play music on it while I was meditating. And then I was like, what, Amy? What are you doing? Had to call myself out for a moment. I was being a little too human. Or whatever. I mean, that's not necessary, but you know what I mean. Something tells me you know what I mean. Right? You don't need music. You don't need a guide. I mean, unless you choose to. That's your prerogative. This is your life. I'm not here to dictate. I'm just here to maybe share a different perspective. Maybe the way you've been doing it is pure habit, and you need to break that. Maybe the ways meditation have been introduced to you and shared with you just aren't the way for you. That's okay too. But I highly recommend figuring out what is, because it's extremely helpful. Okay? Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm feeling pulled to at least break this one in half. There's the 9, fam. And what do you know? It's Pentacles. Pentacles are the earth. And I mentioned Mother Gaia earlier. They're not just money. They're all of those seeds planted and sown. It's not just one good harvest that we're striving toward. It's the rest of our lives. And it's okay to enjoy that. It's okay to enjoy how well things are going. For some of us, when all we've known for so long is survival mode, it can be a bit awkward. It can be a bit difficult to adjust. But you are adjusting. Keep going. Please keep going. You deserve to enjoy your life, whether you're able to believe it or not right now. Keep trying to figure out what that means for you. All right? Thank you so much for joining me in this reading today, fam. I really appreciate the company. And always remember that I love you.